fam, what's going on? I'm Shakib here, and I want to begin by saying that the iPhone XR is a budget-friendly phone for iPhone users only, not Android. Me coming from an Android user, I don't think it's worth any amount of my time to even consider this phone because of the specs, but for an Apple user, I can probably understand why. That's the confusion we live in right now. Apple and Android. Apple usually are late with their specs with a higher price point, and Android are up to date with a lower price point. But people will still buy iPhones because it's Apple. And this is the crowd I can only recommend this phone to, not to Android users like myself. Hope that wasn't so confusing. Now there are three things that makes the XR a budget-friendly phone, and that's build quality, the display, and the camera. Now, Apple introduced a variety of colors, but I stick with their flagship blue colorway, and being fully honest, I didn't like that blue that much because it was very light and it looked better on pictures, so I suggest going to the Apple store first before buying one of these guys. And that glass body on the back seemed to be different from the iPhone XS because it did seem a little less reflective and more frosty. Basically, it just looks like a glass over a coat of paint. Now, I was a little upset when I first saw the phone in person because when I thought of new colorways, I thought of a bright new shiny phone just like the XS and XS Max, but I was a little wrong. But what I did like was the two-tone color scheme going on with the back body and the band around the phone. But it's not stainless steel just like the XS, it's iodized aluminum, which kind of felt cheap. Seemed like the paint from the band can be easily scratched off without a case. Now the display, this is where things start to irk me because it's not an OLED panel, it's LCD, and Apple likes to sugarcoat things by calling it their liquid retina display. It's basically an LCD HD panel and it's $750. You can get LCD panels under $750 on other phones like Android, but it's Apple, so I'm just gonna chill. I'm just gonna chill because it's Apple. The XR is 6.1 inches tall with Apple's notorious notch at the top, but notches are norm now, so if you don't have a notch, basically you're not cool. But anyways, this being an LCD panel, you're not getting those deep black levels as you would on an OLED display. The iPhone XS has one, but I did not have one with me during the time of recording this video, so I compared it with the Pixel 3, which does have an OLED panel, and you can spot the differences in the black levels. The Pixel 3 are deeper and darker, and the colors are a little more vibrant. Now you can only notice the difference when you have two phones next to each other, but when the XR is by itself, the average consumer will say that it's a nice display, hands down, because it's hard noticing the small differences in color and the black levels. As an Android user, yes, I can spot the difference, and that irks me because this phone is not cheap, it's $750, but for the average user, for the average iPhone user, it's not so noticeable, so I guess that's a good thing. And one last thing I want to know about the XR screen, the bezels around the display are slightly thicker than the iPhone XS. Just slightly, so there's less of a screen real estate going on in this phone. This didn't bother me completely because it was a minor stretch on the bezels, but you guys definitely have the right to know that this exists on this phone. Now we live in an era where smartphones have multi-rear cameras or lenses. The XR does not have that feature, it has only one, and that would be a wide-angle lens. The front-facing lenses, camera sensor, and megapixels all the same as the iPhone XS. So that means it still takes nice photos, you have smart HDR, and colors are vibrant and poppin', shadow, detail, and edges are sharp. Even low-light photos are really nice too. You have your returning 4K recording at 60 frames, something Google should have done with their Pixel 3, and slow-mo on 1080 at 240 frames. Another thing Google missed out on their Pixel. The main difference is the lack of a telephoto lens compared to the XS. Now without a telephoto lens, it brings a challenge of taking nice portrait shots, but Apple did a pretty good job. Now the background isn't completely blurred out, but I give them props because this was all done through software. Obviously not hardware because there's no telephoto lens, so I was pretty impressed with this. Now I was not surprised on the battery because it was great. It lasted me around 8 hours of on-screen time. But I also wasn't surprised with the exclusion of a fast charger. Because that's how Apple likes to do things. They like to work backwards sometimes, which makes no sense to me. It's a multi-trillion-dollar company, but that's Apple for you. But the phone does feature an A12 Bionic chip, which performed great. Switching between apps, playing games, I had no issues with it. And iOS 12 did help out a lot too. Now I want to repeat that this phone caters towards an iPhone user only because you're getting the latest A12 processor, you're getting a great battery, you're getting good camera, a good screen, and also you're getting iOS 12. Now notice I did not say great camera or a great screen because it's LCD and you only have one lens. So for 750 bucks, this is a great budget-friendly phone for iOS users. If you want to spend 250 bucks more for those two features, for the camera and the lens, you can buy a XS. Or you could save your money and buy an Android instead. I think if you have anything older than 8 or 8 Plus, I would recommend this phone. If not, stick with your 8, 8 Plus, 10, and obviously XS. That's all we have for this video, and guys, if you enjoyed it, please like, share, and finesse on that subscribe button. YouTube has been really tough on me with the numbers. It would really help me out. And let's end it off with fun fact number 42. Apple created the first color digital camera. It's really interesting. Thank you for watching. I'm Zashak. Stay tech strong, and deuces.